Hey there, YouTube. Well-rounded prepper here. Said I'd be making a few videos today, and this is just the next one talking about making sure that you are doing your part to try to warn people. Now, as preppers or as people who consider themselves to be preppers, you do have to be careful. It's a fine balance. You don't want to announce to the world that you are a prepper. You don't want to put yourself or your family kind of at risk for people who are not taking the time to prepare themselves. I mean, I've told people in the past when I wasn't as careful with it, and the joking response was always, "Well, I know where I'm coming when things go down." To which I would always say, "Well, that's fine as long as you bring things and contribute." I'm not prepping for everybody. I'm prepping for people in my family and however many other people that I can. So you want to be careful. You don't want to just say, "Hey, I'm a prepper. I want you to prep." But you do want to make sure that you are taking the time to warn people. Truthfully, if people know anything about what's going on in the world today and they're not taking steps to prepare themselves, they're not taking even our broken government's advice to have food stored at home, if they're not doing that, then it is pretty much kind of like their fault. But at the same time, what I cannot foresee is people having neighborhoods full of people that are not prepared and being a prepper in that community and not being able to help anyone because you don't have enough to help everybody. And then, of course, you've seen, when people are scared, they do stupid things. They do things that they wouldn't normally do. And when they're hungry, oh my goodness, then they do things that they never think that they would ever do. So I do want to really encourage you to take the time that we have to try to encourage your community to prepare. And everyone's in a different boat financially. Prices are not getting any better. I can't even tell you how disappointed I was when I went to the grocery store the other evening just for a few things, and it came out to be $100. I looked at my six bags of food, and I think it was like 3 cases of water, and I said, "What in the world?" So everyone's in the same boat with inflation right now, but with all the potential for shortages and more inflation, people really have to start making an effort and taking this time. And as someone who is paying attention, you need to be encouraging people to take steps. I've told you before in other videos that I wrote a letter. I typed it up. I can be long-winded, so it was a few pages, but I went through the different areas of preparedness to focus on and why it's important. And I gave the gospel at the end because even though it was at the end, it was the longest section because I believe that spiritual preparedness is the most important area of preparedness. Because you can prepare, you can have the bunker and you're still going to die. So you need to know where you're going to go. But I typed up that letter. I printed off a bunch of copies. I took it around to some of my neighbors. I still have more that I need to do. It's been a little while since I've done that. So I'm going to be doing that before the snow hits because I want to make sure I can move freely out there. But take this time. And at the very least, if you don't want to talk to people face to face, if you at least do that, you've done your part. It's the same thing with sharing the gospel. It's not the same. It's a little bit different, but you are only responsible for sharing. You can't force people into a decision. You can't force people into action. So as long as you just try to encourage as many people as you can, particularly people surrounding you. And if you can get, like, I don't know if where you live, if you have like a recreation center or a nearby lodge or something that you can use, you can even put out a flyer with preparedness meeting and see who all shows up, people who are interested, and you can do it that way. And yes, that does put your face out there, so you're kind of taking a chance, but you may be able to actually network and get people working together, which would be in everybody's best interest. Get people to work together so that if something major happens, it's not everybody fending for their own. It's groups of people working together. So yeah, that's it. I just wanted to encourage you to be taking this time to not only prepare your family and not only look at ways to improve your current situation and determine if you're bugging in or bugging out, but also to encourage others to do the same. So, yep, that's this video. I hope that you all have a wonderful, blessed day, and I will see you in my next one. Take care.